Hi everyone, it's BJ. Today is Wednesday, August 30th, 2017. And here in Calgary it's actually really quite warm. It's been an unusually warm summer for us. I've enjoyed it. I would take the heat above the cold, but unusually warm. So I think today they were predicting 33 or 34 degrees Celsius, which is probably 30 degrees is 86 Fahrenheit, so 34 is probably 94 or something like that, I'm guessing Fahrenheit, so pretty warm. And to top it off, today of all days, my car's air conditioner said, enough, I'm out of here. So it's not working anymore. But I mean, the car is 18 years old, so I've had it 3 years this week actually, so I don't think the car owes me anything. But without the air conditioning, it's uncomfortable for me. And of course, taking the dogs and stuff anywhere while it's this hot is not going to be happening. So, yeah. Oh, and speaking of dogs, last week, Cruiser, the Greyhound Foster that I'm looking after, had his dental done. And he had 3 teeth removed, 2 molars, not the big crunchy molar, but the smaller ones right at the back. And then a smaller one on the bottom, not a molar, but a smaller tooth removed. And he had his cleaning done, and his teeth look great, and his breath is good. And of course, it's been almost a week, and he was back to normal, I'd say, within 36 hours. That night when I picked him up and brought him home, of course, he was pretty dopey, and he was walking like he had 3 martinis and that kind of thing, because they actually had to give him quite a bit of anesthesia to put him under. And then when he was coming out of it, he was having a tough time with like hallucinations and banging his head and that kind of thing. So they had to give him some ketamine to kind of calm him down a bit. So by the time I got him, he'd been, he was awake for a few hours, but still super dopey. So I was super careful with him that night, helping him up and down the stairs, of course, and he couldn't lift his hind feet quite high enough, to get onto his dog bed, that kind of thing. Saturday, he was still a little bit slow with his hind feet, again, still dragging a little bit, but by the end of Saturday and certainly on Sunday, he was back to normal, so he's doing great. What else has been going on? Oh, and I wanted to send out a big thank you to a longtime friend and a former colleague of mine, Melissa. Melissa sent me this lovely card. Oops, over here maybe, so there's not so much glare. But yeah, so I just got this earlier this week, and I sent her a thank you text. So that was lovely of her. It was just a, thinking of you kind of cards. That was really nice. It's nice to hear from her. So she's doing well and everything. So thanks, Melissa. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, I see my family doctor every 2 weeks, as I have mentioned before. And last week when I saw her, we were talking about possible schedules for return to work. And she has said nothing till January. At January, we'll start looking into it, unless things really improve a lot. Like my white blood cell count needs to improve a lot, because even as it is right now, it is below the lowest acceptable level. So she wants that boosted. She wants that to improve before I'm back to work, amongst a lot of people, using transit, all that kind of thing, because my immune system is still compromised. And I can't afford to get an infection or sick, because my immune system's not quite back up to where it needs to be. So we're looking at January for a graduated return. If things, get a lot better suddenly, then certainly we can look at going back earlier, and that would be fine. So that was the news on that front. Let's see. So the side effects are still continuing. Side effects from chemo and letrozole. The low white blood cell count, that will be a carryover from the chemo drugs. The white blood cells are created in your bone marrow. And of course, the chemo drugs kill the bone marrow, so it's struggling to remake those white blood cell counts or white blood cells and get the counts up high enough so that your immune system is healthy again. Incredible fatigue, just it washes over you like a wave, and you can't stay awake. So even, was it this week or last week, there's one day within a 24-hour period I slept for 13 hours. Not all at once, of course. I usually, like, I'll sleep for 9 hours during the night, and then the rest of it was the nap during the day. So every day I'm still napping, minimum 2 hours, but more than likely 3 to 5 hours is kind of my normal nap. So it's more than a nap. It's a couple full sleep cycles. So that's the way it's been going. Again, still more, the same joint, muscle, some bone pain. What I've been getting at night as well is the trigger finger. I'll have to take a picture and upload it. It happens on both my hands with the middle finger. And what happens is it will freeze kind of like in that kind of a position. And it's extremely painful, and you can't straighten it. It's like it's completely frozen or paralyzed. So I run it under warm water for a while, and then it will gradually relax, and I can straighten it out. So the way that I can get around that one, if I remember, is I'll just tape it to this finger. These two fingers taped together, and then this one won't be able to bend. So it stays like that. But just even now, when I'm doing this, like, all my joints are really sore. They hurt a lot doing that kind of thing. Yeah, so pretty much the same side effects. The hot flashes are back with a vengeance. They've been occurring more frequently and more intensely, I would say, this past 3 weeks. So that's annoying and uncomfortable, to say the least, especially in this heat. But it's not as debilitating as the muscle, joint, and bone pain and fatigue. So that's just the way it goes. So I've passed the 6-month mark of being on letrozole, and hopefully things will, get better. And whatnot, so that the side effects will be easing up a bit. I'm hoping. So, as for the pain meds, I'm on the same amount. I haven't been able to take any less. Usually 4 a day, sometimes 5, just depending. But yeah, because like I mentioned in my last video, if I'm late taking a pain med or something, that's when I start feeling really nauseous and everything. So it's not very pleasant. And what else did I want to talk about? Oh, well, here, for people that live here, this, it's been so smoky because of the wildfires in BC, and the smoke is blowing over the mountains and into this province. And what I found this week is that it's been really bothering my eyes. They've been really itchy, runny, red. So I've been putting like a Visine type drops in it to help. And of course, overnight when I'm sleeping, they get glued shut because of that. So I'm hoping they all clear up soon too. So yeah, so that's been interesting. But other than that, I'm trying to think what else has been going on. All the fur critters are good. I'm looking around to see where they are. Yeah, both the two little ones are beside me on the couch here, and Cruiser is over on one of the big dog beds. So other than that, I think that's about it, all the updates that I have. I wanted to mention about going back to work in hopefully January, perhaps sooner, if I'm feeling better and my white blood cell count is up decently. And I think that's about it, other than the hair is really growing. I was looking back at older videos and photos and stuff, and I think my hair really started to come in, I would say, mid-June. And so it's been growing really quite well since then. And it's coming in super, super curly, as you can see, which is fine with me. I don't mind. I mean, I've got hair. That's a good thing. So yeah, it's really super curly, which is interesting. But usually when people have chemotherapy drugs, if they lose their hair, when it comes back in, it may be different than it was originally. So it's the same color, but yeah, really super curly. But I'm enjoying it, and it's very easy to look after, so that's okay. So I think that's it for today. And as I always say, I'm going to try to do more videos, or do them more frequently and upload them at least. And that's it. But a huge thanks again to Melissa for the lovely card. And I hope everyone who's watching this is having a good day and a great week. And I will chat again soon. Thanks a lot. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.